Welcome back to Pandemic Bill, Favipiravir for COVID, the podcast exploring the science of Favipiravir role in COVID-19 research. I am Kanak, and each episode we dive into a new technical aspect with leading experts. Today, we are on our last episode, and that is the teaming up Favipiravir in COVID-19 combination therapies, and we will examine how favipiravir is studied in combination with drugs like remdesivir or monoclonal antibodies to boost efficacy against SARS-CoV-2. So joining me again is Aseema Mishra, a wonderful microbiology researcher. Welcome, Aseema.
Thanks, Kanak. It's been lovely having this chat with you, and I'm really thrilled to discuss in this last episode how favipiravir works in tandem with other drugs in COVID-19 research.
Yes, let's get started then. Combining drugs is a common strategy in fighting viruses. And can you give us an overview of why and how favipiravir is studied in combination therapies for COVID-19?
Yeah, absolutely. So combining favipiravir with other drugs basically aims to enhance its antiviral effect and reduce the risk of resistance, also improve outcomes in case of COVID-19 patients. Favipiravir targets the virus's RNA replication as we have discussed in length, but its modest efficacy when used alone has led the researchers to pair it with drugs that attack SARS-CoV-2 differently, like remdesivir or monoclonal antibodies. Studies show that these combinations can sometimes clear the virus faster or improve symptoms more effectively than favipiravir when administered alone, based on the trials with hundreds of patients and making this a promising area of research.
That teamwork approach sounds promising, right? That teamwork approach sounds promising.
Definitely.
Let's start with remdesivir then. That is another antiviral. So, what do studies shows about combining and comparing the favipiravir with remdesivir?
Well, remdesivir also targets SARS-CoV-2's RNA polymerase, but in a different way, making it a good partner for combining with favipiravir. A study of 180 patients with mild to moderate COVID-19 found that the combination reduced viral clearance time to 7 days compared to 10 days with favipiravir alone. And another trial with 250 hospitalized patients showed that the combo improved clinical recovery significantly, defined as normalized vital signs by 30% faster, with patients recovering in about 8 days versus 11 days for remdesivir alone. These results suggest that the two drugs can work synergistically in order to hit the virus harder earlier in the infection.
Those are solid gains.
Yeah.
What about combining favipiravir with monoclonal antibodies and like those targeting the virus spike protein?
Well, monoclonal antibodies such as sotrovimab block SARS-CoV-2 from entering the cells, complementing favipiravir's action inside the cells. A study of 120 outpatients with mild COVID-19 showed that favipiravir plus sotrovimab reduced viral load by 90% within just 5 days compared to 70% with favipiravir alone. Another trial with 200 patients found that the combination lowered the risk of hospitalization by 25% in high risk groups compared to 15% with monoclonal antibodies alone. These findings highlight how combining therapies with different targets can significantly improve outcomes, especially in case of vulnerable patients.
That's impressive synergy.
Definitely.
Uh, are there other combinations with favipiravir being explored in COVID-19 research?
Yes, well, researchers have also tested favipiravir with anti-inflammatory drugs like baricitinib, which reduces harmful immune responses in COVID-19. A trial with 150 patients showed that favipiravir plus baricitinib shortened hospital stays by 2 days on average, 7 days versus 9 days compared to favipiravir alone in moderate cases. There's also early data from a study of 80 patients combining favipiravir with nitazoxanide, another antiviral which cut the viral clearance time by 1.5 days compared to favipiravir alone. These combinations are still experimental but show potential for tackling different aspects of the disease.
It's exciting to see these pairings. What challenges do researchers face when studying these combination therapies?
Well, one challenge is managing interactions between the drugs. Combining favipiravir with remdesivir or baricitinib can increase the side effects like elevated liver enzymes, seen in about 10% of patients in trials with 300 participants. Another issue is dosing complexity. Researchers must ensure each drug reaches effective levels without overloading the body, which was a hurdle in studies with 200 patients where dose adjustments were needed. Timing is also very critical. Combinations work best earlier in the infection, as we have already discussed, but coordinating multiple drugs in real world settings can be really tricky, as seen in trials where late starts reduced benefits.
Those are significant hurdles. How does favipiravir's role in combination therapies compare to other antivirals like Paxlovid or molnupiravir in these studies?
Well, favipiravir combinations are comparatively less studied than Paxlovid or molnupiravir. Paxlovid paired with monoclonal antibodies in trials of 1,000 patients reduced hospitalization by 80% in high risk groups, outperforming Favipiravir's 25% reduction in the similar combos. Molnupiravir combined with baricitinib in a study of 400 patients shortened recovery by 3 days, slightly better than Favipiravir's 2-day gain. Now, Favipiravir's combinations show promise, especially with remdesivir or antibodies, but Paxlovid's stronger solo efficacy gives it an edge in combo studies based on the data from thousands of patients.
That puts favipirav's role in context.
Yes.
What's the future direction for studying favipiravir in combination therapies? What do you think?
Well, researchers are focusing on optimizing the combinations for specific patient groups, like those with high viral loads, where a study of 100 patients showed combos with remdesivir worked the best. There's also an interest in testing favipiravir with newer antivirals in order to prevent the resistance that it shows, based on early trials with 50 patients. The goal is to find the combinations that maximize efficacy while also keeping regimens simple and safe for the patient, building on data from ongoing studies in order to refine these approaches.
That's a hopeful path forward.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, what's one key takeaway about favipirav's role in combination therapies that our listeners should hold on to?
Well, the key is that favipiravir, when paired with drugs like remdesivir or MABs, that is monoclonal antibodies, can boost its antiviral punch in the COVID-19 research, offering a faster viral clearance and better recovery in some studies. It shows the power of combining therapies in order to tackle SARS-CoV-2 from multiple angles.
That's a great takeaway. Uh, Aseema, thank you for illuminating favipirav's role in combination therapy. Thank you for joining us on our podcast, Pandemic Pill Favipiravir for COVID. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe, rate, and share. I'm Kanak, and we will see you next time. Thank you.